Well, that was fantastic in that library. You can see how much difference the land is from the last time I was wandering around at Innerpeffray back in the autumn. It's a very calm and very sort of typical May day. The clouds gently rolling across the Strathern from the east. Very gently, nothing exciting. What is remarkable is the number of flies that are attached themselves to all the vehicles that are parked here. So this is one of the drawbacks of walking in early part of the summer. Look at the number of flies. I mean, these are all, it's almost like Siberia for the it's a horrendous time of year. It's the springtime in Siberia when the mosquitoes start to rise. There's the brown hare, and he's got a partner, I notice. It's a beautiful beast, the brown hare. Mountain hare is completely different, of course. It changes its coat. If you go up into the mountain, you might still find that the mountain hare's got a sort of semi-white coat on at the moment when it's changing its winter attire to its new summer collection, you see. That was very interesting, wasn't it?
It was lovely.
Ah, it's great out there. And so I'm going to say that I'm going to pop in for a coffee. This is the old schoolhouse, of course, over here at Innerpeffray. And I think I'll have a coffee. I've been at the chapel before, and it really is. It's so interesting. What was interesting as well, Andrew, was the fact that you were so interesting. I think the chap was absolutely gobsmacked how much knowledge you had for such a young man, even though you're not young anymore. But look at the white nettle, Annie. Another health boost to pick a few of these things and pop it in your teapot. But no, I had a good old chat, and what was most interesting was that he told me that he had for years upon years upon years upon years, due to family connections, he went out to the battlefields with First World War, particularly the Somme, and he's walked every single inch of it. Hundreds of miles, he said, he's done over the years, looking at all the sites where death was apparent. And I was telling him about my own experiences about the gentleman from the 1970s I remember as a child that clearly had shell shock still all these years after the First World War. He says there's hundreds of thousands of maimed individuals, blind, deaf, effects of gas, people that lost their limbs. All these people were all forgotten. And I told him in the story, and he says, he described the person absolutely as having shell shock, absolutely 100%. That's what's happened with him. And then I told him about the other chap on the bicycle with the herringbone coat. I know his name, but I won't give it. And incidentally, he called it the 1,000-yard stare. And it put the shudder through me. I says, that's exactly what that was like. It's like that man was not looking at me, he was looking right through me. He says, yes, it's called the 1,000-yard stare. That many thousands of these troops, suffered that after being there. And I didn't know, but a lot of them, there was a conveyor belt of troops on the front line. And the British Army realised that the most they could actually put these troops out there was 5 to 7 days maximum, 7 days, a week at a time, because they completely went insane. So it almost brings a tear to my eye thinking about this, but in fact it puts a lump in my throat too. Awful, and the Germans called it, what was it, the fire drums or something, the shells. Just constant bloody shelling, 24/7, constant, day and night, all around you. How the hell could you put up with that? I mean, literally watching bloody people just getting blown apart a few feet away from you. If you survived that, you had angels on your side, there's no doubt about it. Unfortunately, millions didn't survive it. It's absolutely, well. Anyway, I was chatting away with them and the stuff there. Another thing I noticed in the little book, I took a little picture of it. Is it a Lochadonis or something? It's called. And it was a Gaelic for Deal's Cauldron up in Comrie, and one thing that struck me about the little scripture in the book on the page was something I'd never actually thought about myself, I have to say. I've talked often about the spirits of the humans, but this book refers to the spirits of the fairies. I've not got the exact word in my brain. I just took the photograph of the page, with permission of course, but they said that the Deal's Cauldron, the Glen Ladnock, had its own breed of fairy spirits, the spirits of the fairies, and I thought, I've never thought about that. Not only would you see a fairy, but you'd also a chance of seeing the spirit of a fairy. Yeah, it's amazing to think of this. Anyway, I'm fascinated, so I waited 51 years of my life to come and visit this library. And the thing is, every time I've came before, it's either been bloody closed or yeah. It's the truth. Every time I've thought about coming, there's always been something to pull me away, but not anymore. This white nettle, the dead nettle, it's called, is a very popular plant with the bees. A very particular, what do you call it, species of bumblebee, all hovering around here. So that in itself is pretty fascinating. But the chap was, he was quite surpassed by the amount of information that I was able to offer just off the top of my head. In a few instances, she said, you've thrown me wide open in that one. I don't know the answer to this, I'm sorry. But, it's good to have an inquisitive mind. And I think when you lose your appeal for learning more information in life, that's almost, I mean, every day is new, and every day provides brand new information. Every single day, no doubt, no exceptions any. I mean, for instance, I'm now going to find out the name of the bee which favours the white nettle. That's the next thing I'll find out for you. I'm going in for my coffee, Eddie. The reason I'm standing here is I'm having a cigaretto. I listen to the bees as well. Something I dream about in the darkest winter nights. Look at this chap here. Look at nature is absolutely beautiful, isn't it?